Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. I go by GSarah on Instagram, and today we're going to be talking about some Amazon finds that I have found that have been really helpful for my vendor events or craft shows. If you have a craft show coming up and perhaps it's your first time, I think this video will be really helpful. There are a few items on this list that I believe are not on Amazon, but I'm going to have everything linked down below in the description. Before we get into it real quick though, this is all stuff that I personally use for my booth, so you can take the idea and find something else, like something similar. If you click on the link to bring up the Amazon page and then you scroll down, there's gonna have a lot of people also bought this, and it'll give you a lot more ideas too than just the stuff that I talk about here on this video. If you do have a vendor event coming up and it's your first one, first off, congratulations, because that's awesome. And secondly, hang in there. I know that it's stressful and it's nerve-wracking, but I promise it's going to be a great experience. So, I have only done 3 craft shows so far at Canton First Mondays, which are 4-day long craft shows. So, I have a little bit of experience, but not like a whole lot. I actually missed this past month because I forgot to pay for my spot, but I just wanted to share some things that I found that I think have been really helpful, and especially with my last show, I broke $1,000 and I was super happy about it, and some of the new things that I had incorporated, I wanted to share with you guys. So let's get right into it. The first thing I cannot physically show you, so I'm just going to pull up a picture of the one that I have, but it's going to be to get a canopy. A lot of people think that you would really only use a canopy if you're doing your event outside. I do my events inside, and I still use a canopy, and I feel like it makes my booth really kind of stand out. The canopy and the lights that I use and everything, it does draw attention. Plus, it's something that I have that I can hang stuff on. If I wanted to hang lights or my banner with my brand logo on it, if I ever end up having stuff at my booth like signs or dream catchers or, stuff that I would want to hang, I can because I have a canopy. So a canopy is really helpful, not just for needing it to be outside, but for an inside show. Canopies are really awesome. So I'm going to tag the one that I have below. It's a 12 foot by 12 foot canopy. I'm also going to tag a 10 by 10 foot canopy, and I have also heard of having a space at a vendor show that is a 10 by 20, and they make canopies for that also. So I will tag all 3 of those down below if you would like to check them out. The one that I have, the 12 by 12 foot one, is super easy to set up. I could do it by myself. I haven't actually had to yet, but I know that I would be able to myself, because you just kind of like stretch it apart and then it kind of opens itself up. You put the roof on, not the roof, the tarp over the top, and then you just push it up in the center and then pull the sides up. It's super easy to assemble. There's a video on the Amazon page that shows you how to do it also, and you pack it all up. It's got wheels on the bottom of it so you can carry it. It's super easy. It's super portable. It's awesome. If you ever feel like maybe you're going to be doing a vendor event by yourself and you might be kind of worried about carrying something like really heavy, it's got straps on it, it's got wheels on it, it's badass. And I think that you can buy it with walls. If you are doing an outside event, it's really helpful to protect from the sun, and then the walls help from the wind. It's a great canopy. I love mine. The next item on the list might seem a little bit obvious, and a lot of trade shows actually give you this, so you don't need to buy it yourself, but just in case the show that you're going to doesn't, it's going to be the folding tables. The ones that I use are 6 foot, but there's also 8 foot folding tables, and they're really awesome because you can fold the legs inward, you fold the table in half, and then it has a handle, and so it's really portable, it's easy to set up, it's easy to take down. I have one sitting right there that I use for making all of my handmade products, and it's got probably about 60 pounds worth of stuff on it because I have my Digiboil up there that has 50 pounds of wax in it right now, so it can hold a lot of weight. A lot of vendor shows will want you to have table covers, so I'm also just going to include those down below just in case you do need to have table covers. I use black ones, but they come in all different colors. There are 2 different types of table covers. There's the ones that just kind of hang and go down, and then there's the tight ones. I think those look really cool. I don't actually use those, but those do look really cool. I just always was worried that if I have one that's tight, that I won't be able to put stuff underneath my tables, and I need to be able to do that at my vendor event. Third is going to be chalkboards. I have 3 different kinds of chalkboards that I use, and I use chalkboards because whenever you're at a vendor event, you kind of need to be able to have the freedom to change some of the information. Like you might need to change your prices, or let's say the event really isn't going so well, so you want to run a sale. You can write that in the middle of the event. Whereas having stuff that is already printed out, you can't really change that. So I have these are the first ones that I bought. These are double-sided. I'll tag these exact ones down below. And this is what I used at my first event, was just these. And it was really helpful, but I realized that I wanted one a little bit bigger. So I got this guy. And this one's really cute because it's got these little stands, not stands, things that come out, and so then you can set it down and it's a little bit bigger. I'll include as many pictures as I can in this of my actual booth, but this is the second one that I bought because I loved it so much. I love the way that it looked with my aesthetic and with my table, and I liked having a bigger surface to write it on, because those small ones, they're cute, but really you can only read it if you like come up to the table, and I wanted something that stood out a little bit more. So I got a second one. And then even more so, I wanted to have one that was even bigger than those, that I could put out in front of my actual booth. So I bought this guy, and this is a sandwich board chalkboard. So it's got chalk on both sides. It might be made by the same company, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna have all of these chalkboards down below. I bought this one for this last month, and then I missed it, so I haven't actually gotten to use this one yet, but I'm really excited because it's a sandwich board, so I'll be able to open it up. I'll be able to write all kinds of shit on here and then just have it sitting out there, and I feel like that'll grab a lot of attention to my booth. Chalkboards are great. Chalkboards are so great because you can change the information while you're there if you need to. I use these chalk markers. This is a brand new box that I just got because I was just using white chalk markers, which work great, but I realized for the really big chalkboard, I wanted to use all colored chalk markers. This guy, I'm so glad that I found this. As far as a place to keep track of your cash and your money, I was just using a zip bag, which worked, but I need things to be organized. So I got this. It's called a money box, but it's basically like a cash register, and it locks. So if you have to go to the bathroom and you have to leave your booth, you can lock it up with a pair of keys. It comes with 2 keys. I put them on, this is a hair tie. I used this to keep it around my wrist at the event. You open it up. I cannot hold this right. And it's got these little things that hold the cash in place in case it's super windy and you don't want your money to, fly away. It's got space back here to put extra, change or whatnot that you might need. And then up here you can have all of your actual change. I love this thing. And with this, having a money checker pen, I did not realize that I was going to need this. I didn't even think about it until somebody, paid with a $100 bill, and I thought, oh, this could totally be a fake $100 bill. I have no idea, and I'm not going to turn them away, so I'm just going to take it and hope for the best. And luckily, the ATM took the $100 bill, so I mean, it still could have been fake. I have no idea, but having a money checker pen is super, super, super helpful. So I'll have that and the money box tagged down below. Very important to have this if you're going to be working somewhere where there's going to be cash, and most likely at all vendor events they do cash. So what I use as far as a point of sale system is the Chipper BTX, I think is what it's called, for Shopify. So it syncs all of my inventory with my Shopify inventory. I will go ahead and tag that card reader down below too. It's a swipe and a chip insert, and it's a tap. And I had a guy that wanted to actually use his Apple Watch to see if it worked with the tap, and it did. So it works with everything. I'll have that tagged down below. But for people that do cash transactions, if they want a physical receipt, because with that POS, you have the ability to email or text them a receipt. Sometimes people want to have an actual physical receipt. So I have this receipt book here that I haven't had to use it yet, but if somebody wants it, I don't have to be like, oh, well, I don't have the ability to do that. I do have the ability to do that. I just have to write it, and then it's got, the receipt that you actually give them, and then the receipt that you keep for your records. Or it might be the other way around. I haven't actually used this yet, so I don't know, but, it's very helpful to have this just in case you need it. My bulbs, my Edison bulbs. It brings so much attention to my booth. I love these things. It's a box of 25. I have 2 of these, so to wrap around the 12 by 12 by 12 foot tent, I need 2 to get, you know, 1 across 2 sides and 1 across the other side, and it fits perfectly. They look like this. They're Edison bulbs, and they're so cute whenever they're turned on because the coil just wraps around. I'll pull up a picture of what it looks like in my booth, but I love these lights. They're just unique. I haven't really seen anybody with these. I mean, people always comment on how cute that is, so I just wanted to share these because they're adorable. I hang up my Edison bulbs with these teeny tiny little clips. I clip them onto the edge of the canopy with this end, and then that end hangs, and then I put the cord in there. And this pack comes with, I think, 100 of them. I've never used that many, but they're really, really easy. They're really small, so they're not noticeable at all. And this is how I keep my Edison bulbs hanging up. And this would work for any kind of string lights, like Christmas lights or anything I want to hang on my canopy. This is how I attach it, and super cheap, super easy, super cheap. Next is going to be these acrylic signs. I think they come in a pack of 2. I got these because I wanted to have somewhere to put my QR code. This is my Popple QR code. I'll attach my video up here where I talk about Popple. It's a free QR code that you get whenever you order the actual Popples that go on your phone. I can't show you because I'm recording with my iPhone right now, but there's a Popple that you put on your phone, and then people wave their phone up to it, and it pulls up all of your social medias, your website, your YouTube, your anything that you could possibly want to link to it. It pulls that up, and the same thing with the QR code. These acrylic stands are super dirty right now because I haven't cleaned them since I've used them. These acrylic stands, they're kind of a pain in the ass to put together. I'm just going to let you know that right now. They are super lightweight. They're easy to transport between, you know, your house and the vendor event. And I have, I think, 6 of these. And so they just, it's good to have like different levels in your booth. You want to be able to present all of your stuff and have people see it all, and so having it up on different levels is more engaging and visually stimulating for the person who's walking by your booth. There's a ton of display, like retail display stands that you can get. These are just the black acrylic. All of my stuff is like black and pink, if you haven't already noticed. Speaking of that, I don't have it in here, but to give your table a little bit more pizzazz, I have a table. It's not really a table runner. I'll show a picture of it, but it's just a tablecloth that I have going down the center of my front table. And for some reason, having just that makes the whole booth just look, I don't know, better. Without it, everything looks really, really bland. So I put that table runner down the middle, and it just kind of makes everything else pop. And it also brings out the other pink accents that I have going on in my booth. Now this is very, very important. Steel building, so it gets hot. It gets really hot. So this helps me from not melting into a puddle onto the floor. And I think that would also really help with outside events because it gets hot. It gets really hot, and they can't air condition a giant wide open space. So having a fan is super helpful. The last find is going to be this little speaker. My first vendor event, I didn't know if we were allowed to have music playing, so I didn't have this. I'll have it tagged down below, but it was like $50. It might be even cheaper now. But the sound is great, and that way I'm able to play music that I feel like kind of matches my whole vibe in my booth. It kind of makes them feel like really comfortable whenever they come into your booth and there's like some, you know, good music playing. So these have been my Amazon finds so far, and I know that every time that I go back to the vendor event, I'll probably find more, so I will share more as I find more and also maybe some not so great things so that y'all know to steer clear of that. But yeah, so everything that I mentioned in this video, I will have it all linked down in the description below. Also in the description is going to be a link to my Amazon shop. It's just all the products from Amazon that I suggest for, you know, candle making or shipping and stuff. It's an easier way to just see everything rather than me listing them all on every single video. So I have that down there. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, that button is down below, and if you would like to hit the thumbs up button, that would be super helpful for me and beneficial to my channel. And again, just thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you have any questions at all or any input on any of the stuff that I mentioned, or if you have some more ideas, please leave it down in the comments below, because I love hearing from you guys. So yeah, as always, be excellent to each other, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!